Teaches that whoever saves a life, it is considered as if he saved an entire world. In Pittsburgh, there's a remarkable story of a group of Pittsburgh women who have followed that path. They were determined to find a way to prevent so many infant deaths from sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. In 1998, they formed an organization called Cribs for Kids, which provides love and support to families who have lost a child to this disease. Just as important, they help to educate mothers who have just delivered their babies on how to ensure safe sleep to prevent SIDS. And they also provide portable cribs for those who can't afford them. Their story is told in a new book called 5 Ladies and a Forklift, written by Judy and Jennifer Bannon. Joining us now are Judy Bannon, founder and executive director of Cribs for Kids, and Eileen Carlins, director of support and education for that organization. Ladies, thank you for this, for joining us this morning, and for the great work that you do. It's so appreciated. I have to tell you, Judy, when I saw the title, 5 Ladies and a Forklift, a forklift. What's that got to do with all this? How did this organization, Cribs for Kids, get started, and what's the forklift all about?
Well, in 1989, when I began working for SIDS of Pennsylvania, we had no idea why babies were dying, and the deaths were called SIDS, Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. I was determined to figure out why this was happening and put an end to it. In '92, the feds came out with their Back to Sleep campaign, and our SIDS rates started to go down. So we knew it was something about how the baby was sleeping, if it was sleeping on its back or on its tummy.
Right.
So by '98, our rates in Pittsburgh, even though they had gone down, they were stabilizing, and the babies who continued to die were from low-income families. Many African-American babies were dying. And we did a study through Dr. Cyril Wecht and the coroner's office, and we looked at the deaths to determine what was different about these babies and why did they continue to die. Were they put to sleep on their back or their tummy?
Right.
And as we did this study, what we realized was 90% of them were not in cribs.
Were not in cribs?
They were not in cribs. They were
Right.
in bed with parents, they were on couches, they were in baby swings.
Right.
So it was at that point that Bob O'Connor, who was on our board, and Steve Zappala, who was the new district attorney, and Gwen Elliott and I got together and said, let's start educating parents about not only how the baby sleeps, but where the baby sleeps and the importance of it. And as we began our first campaign, we gave out 72 cribs, and we thought, well, that was great, and we created awareness. And what happened was the press got a hold of that, and we started getting referrals, and 100 more people were referred us for cribs. And we started giving them out in Allegheny County. Our rates of SIDS and accidental suffocation started to go down. People all over the country started saying, we have to do your program.
And I take it the forklift is moving cribs.
It's moving
you've got
cribs.
so many cribs that you need to...
By 2006, we decided that instead of buying these cribs retail and going to Toys R Us or someplace to have the parents go in with a voucher and get their pack and play, that we would start buying the pack and plays directly from Graco Children's Products, which is a Pennsylvania corporation. So we forged a partnership with them, and they started shipping us cribs, 1,500 at a time, and we started distributing them throughout the country.
I think this is such a wonderful, wonderful cause. And, you know, Eileen, you deal with parents who have lost children to SIDS. I mean, it's almost unfathomable to really imagine that situation. How difficult is it to help parents like that?
Well, the death of a baby suddenly and unexpectedly is the worst loss that a parent can imagine. And years ago, what we used to say about SIDS was, we don't know anything about it, babies die, we can't do anything about it. Right. Now we know the positive thing is there are things we can do to help prevent it. And I can tell you to put your baby on your back and in a safe crib, but if you don't have that, you won't be able to do that. Right. So Cribs for Kids provides that. And we provide support for families whose babies have died. And these babies are forever loved and cherished and remembered.
We only have a minute left. I want to make sure that people see on the screen you have a website,
Yes.
and it's cribsforkids.org.
cribsforkids.org.
So people can do two things. They can make a contribution, because you are totally self-sufficient, right?
Yes, through the sale of our cribs to our partners. And
the sale of your book.
And the sale of the book, and Pitt Ohio Express donates all the shipping to 14 states, to our partners in 14 states. And when we got to the point that we needed a forklift, they donated the forklift to us. So we were literally 5 ladies in a forklift moving cribs all over the country.
Now, if somebody wants a crib, somebody watching the show either knows of someone or they themselves need a crib for a newborn,
Yes.
just get in contact with you through the website?
They can get in contact with us. We also distribute them at every birthing hospital in Allegheny County. So if you're pregnant and you need a crib, right after your baby's born, you'll see a video about Safe Sleep, and you ask at the hospital for a crib, and they will make sure that you go home with it.
Well, again, thank you, ladies, so much for the leadership
Okay.
you've shown and for coming in and sharing with us. Everybody, you know, this is a worthy cause. I think everybody who's a parent, even those who are not parents, know that this is such an important effort that you're engaged in. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Uh-huh.
We'll be back with more of the